Why don't you guys go sell your Sonys, sell your Bose, sell your Bowers and Wilkins and whatever else you have, because no matter how many units of these Technics EAH-AZ100 are available, they will sell out. That's how good they are. We have a new benchmark for 2025. These are the ones to get. And if you're curious why I'm saying so, stick around, because I'm going to give you a lot of reasons to shell out the $300 that they cost at the time of making this video and go purchase them while they're still available. What's up, everybody? This is David M., the Polish Potato. If you do decide to buy these as a result of this video, please use the link in the description. I normally say that at the very end of the video, but so few people watch till the end that I feel like this message is never getting through. And these are the crucial earbuds for 2025. So if you use the link in the description, I would really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything more. The price is the same to you, but it gives me a tiny little kickback so I can keep this channel alive and I can keep making more informative and useful content like this very video today. So let's get right to it. Sound quality. If you watched my unboxing and first impressions of these earbuds, you already know there's a big discussion under that video, and you already know that I wasn't extremely impressed with the default tuning of these. First of all, after a few days with these and careful listening and careful fine-tuning, I can now tell you these absolutely are the best sounding earbuds in the mid section of the consumer market, the upper part of that section. Because of their price, they are definitely considered the higher end of that mid section of the consumer market. They are the ones to beat for 2025, no question about it, because of their detail resolution, because of their amazing sound stage. I feel like the sound stage on these is even broader than on AZ80, which was already incredible. I feel like you can hear things even farther on the right, even farther on the left. The instrument separation is absolutely second to none. I was walking through a store earlier today because I do test these in variety of different environments, just like real life environments, to make sure everything works properly and is great. And I was listening to this song that's on the screen right now, and it has those screams in the beginning of it. And they were so far that I thought someone is actually screaming in the store. But of course, if they were, that wouldn't come through because of their amazing ANC, which I will talk about a little later in more detail. Right now, let's get back to the sound quality. They are very bass rich, and I'm glad some of you are already confirming what I actually experienced during the very quick first listen that I talked about in my first video when I was unboxing these, that this bass is a little bit more boomy than I'm used to from AZ80, that I'm used to from a lot of IEMs. It's a lot of bass in these earbuds. Bass heads will be very happy. Those of you who love warmer sounding earbuds will be very happy. I'm not going to say it's an overwhelming crazy bass. It is crazy bass, but it's not overwhelming to the point where it would kill other frequencies. But it does drown out the highs a little bit in their default settings. In the default tuning, when I started listening to these, I did not hear enough in the highs, in the treble. And I'm going to stand by what I said in that first video. But I also worked with the settings of the equalizer since I listened to them for the first time, because I now have had a few days with them. These are my final settings that I settled on. And with these settings, oh my goodness, these sound incredible. What I'm going to change from my first impressions that I gave you guys a few days ago is I actually love the driver that's in them. In that first video, I said, I'm not sure I like this driver. I don't like it. I love it. This driver is so flexible, and this is the beautiful part. You can tune these to anything you want. You can go up and down with those sliders in the equalizer and basically get the sounds out of them that are absolutely 100% up to your preference. It's incredible. I feel like this driver is more flexible than in a lot of other earbuds. And part of me maybe not hearing enough in the highs with the default tuning is that there's definitely more highs in AZ80 in the default tuning. You just can't deny it. That's a fact. You guys can dispute in the comments and disagree with me. Tell me that the default tuning is perfect and you love it. Okay, it's up to your preferences. My preferences may be a little different. It's also different. Your hearing is different if you're coming from earbuds that did have more treble before. If you're coming from other IEMs or whatever I've been listening prior to putting these in my ears. And also part of it is maybe my age. I don't know. In a few days, I'm turning 50. I'm definitely hearing less treble right now than I did a few years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. That's just what happens with age. Still, the way I love listening to this is with those settings on the screen right now. That doesn't mean it's the ultimate tuning of these and the ultimate preferences that you have to use. But if you want to listen to this song that I just talked about with these settings, let's talk then. If you want to listen to Sweet Thing by Mick Jagger, about 50 seconds into the song, you're going to start hearing two different guitars playing in the left and the right ear. And they are so far apart because of this beautiful instrument separation and the broad, wonderful sound staging that's all around you. I have never heard that song sound that good before. Put on Thriller by Michael Jackson. You're going to hear that cowbell in the right ear, so far to the right. It's like somewhere right behind you. It's absolutely incredible effect. Yes, a lot of earbuds do this well. These do it the best. As far as other frequencies are concerned, again, I added a little bit in the mids because I was missing certain sounds, certain areas of vocals. But right now, this is my favorite tuning for them. Overall, incredibly flexible driver, and overall performance is so beautiful because it's a punchy, strong, and a well-balanced sound at the same time that is just taking you to the whole new level in terms of sound quality and opening up all those tiny little sounds and details and flavors in the songs that you might have not heard before. Also, good news for those of you who did not love AZ80s because they were simply not loud enough. These do seem to be louder by one click. I know maybe that's not much, but it certainly does make a difference. And maybe that's going to be the breaking point for those of you who now will find them satisfying enough in terms of their loudness. These are the benchmark, the ones to beat, and it's only January of 2025. Now, ergonomics, which is the second area. And I want to be very honest with you guys here. They are not as easy for me to stick into my ears as the AZ80 are. And that may be to the nozzle size. I feel like they take more space in your ear canal because of the way they are shaped. They also go deeper into your ear canal. AZ80 have this little bump. And I don't know if I can show this adequately here. Let's try it without doing macro photos. Take a look at this. Let's see if we can focus. This is AZ80. This is AZ100. So AZ80 is on this side. See that bulging bump on the side of the earbud that actually sits against the inside of your ear? It's much smaller in the AZ100. And I think that's what lets them go deeper into your ear canal, but also the nozzle size is bigger. Here we go. Without losing time for the camera to adjust the focus again. AZ80, AZ100 on this side. This is AZ80. See the difference? It's differently shaped and it is bigger. That's why it makes a difference when you're lodging them inside your ear canal. It's not... It doesn't hurt my ears, but it was definitely more challenging with AZ100. And I know people already said in the comments that they think these have better fit into your ear overall. Maybe that's true because overall they are tiny little bit smaller. Their overall footprint is not as big as AZ80, and that definitely contributes to the way the entire earbud sits in your ear. So if it's a better fit for you, fantastic. But the rest of you, just be aware that this is what you're going to be dealing with. Luckily, and now I dropped it. Not good, not good. Luckily, there are different sizes of the ear tips included in the set, and there is plenty of them, so you can experiment with those and pick the ones that create the best fit for you and don't create any fatigue over time and don't hurt your ears in any way. But I absolutely do recommend making sure that you're creating complete 100% seal, because without that, and I try to say it in every video I make on this channel, without creating that perfect seal, you won't be able to experience the bass the way it was intended by the manufacturer, and you definitely won't be able to experience the ANC the way it was intended by the manufacturer. And since we are talking about this, guys, this is the best ANC on the market right now. It's my educated opinion because I test these earbuds, as I just said in the beginning of this video, in many different environments. So if you are listening to the music at around 70%, boy, you are in your own world when it comes to like regular level of noises around you in your household, in your home, in your neighborhood, on the streets, wherever. As far as my barking dogs, and believe me, these two can take it to the level that's dangerous for human ears. I have never heard them so coming from the distance when they were sitting right next to me, barking like crazy. They always do this when I feed them in the morning and in the evening. And with these earbuds, this is the most dampening effect I have ever heard in earbuds. Bose is coming close to this, but these are better. Sony is coming close, but these are better. Basis that has fantastic noise cancellation, ANC, is still not as good as these. So I'm giving them the highest marks in terms of ANC. If this is what drives your purchase, you need something that really isolates you from the sounds and negates all the noise around you, lets you live in your own bubble, listening to music, phone calls, whatever you have. These are the ones for you. Another absolutely genius design element are those foamy mesh inserts that sit inside your ear tips. They protect the crucial parts of the earbuds from your ear gunk and any other unwanted debris. This is something every single earbud manufacturer should be doing. Now let's cover the aesthetics. It is so difficult in today's world to create something that is original, has this distinctive look, and looks good overall in general, and yet Technics has succeeded in that. I'm glad they're continuing what they started with this line of earbuds. These brushed aluminum type of look rings on the top of the earbud, which are at the same time the surface for the touch controls, are creating that look with the silver ring around them that is now larger than in the AZ80s. It also has a different shape. It is more round on top. Here I'm going to show you guys these two again. Here we go. This is AZ80. This is AZ100. You can see these differences that I'm talking about very clearly. Overall, I think they are just beautiful without being super crazy, and they still look sleek and techy and modern, and it's just a fantastic design and a fantastic job. There's absolutely nothing to complain about. I love them. But this is, of course, very subjective. We all have our own preferences, so if you're not too thrilled about the silver gray looking earbud, I'm sure the black version and maybe the blue version again is coming in the future, so you'll be able to pick the color that works better for you. Transparency is great, just about the same level of great it was with the AZ80s. You have that dial in the app that you can go up to all the way to 100%, and at 100% it kind of amplifies whatever is around you. So I find it working the best at around 80, which seems to be the default setting when you switch to transparency. It really works wonderfully. You can hear everything around you as if you did not have the earbuds in your ears at all, which is the best measure of how transparency should be working. As far as controls go, I already talked about them a little bit, but now I'm going to expand. The sensor, I find it to be absolutely perfectly tuned because it is sensitive enough. It's just where it needs to be. It registers your taps. Again, the earbuds do have the confirmation sound, so if you tap twice, you hear two beeps in your ear, which confirms they received exactly what you're trying to do as far as the user input, but it's not too sensitive, so you don't have accidental You don't have them accidentally registering any taps when it's super windy or when you're wearing a hat. Yes, I tested even that. So I feel like this is absolutely perfect operation as far as touch controls go, and they are fully customizable. Look at this list of changes you can make in the app. Basically, you can set them up any way you want. And this is, again, fantastic flexibility on Technics side. You are getting what you paid for here. That's the way it should be. You should have full freedom to customize the touch controls to your liking. Now, at this point of the video, I know you guys are probably waiting for that microphone test. So let's get out of here and compare them to other big players out there and see what Technics did in terms of microphone quality. Was it improved against AZ80? Is it now as good as some commenters already indicated? Let's go with the David M's real life ultimate microphone test for phone calls in earbuds and find out what the results are. All right, guys, for those of you who are maybe here for the very first time, I've been doing this test in the same exact way since basically the beginning of this channel. And I know we're not supposed to use earbuds when behind the wheel, when driving, but the test is done in such a way for two reasons. Number one is a lot of us may be in similar conditions that I'm creating here during this drive while you are on your daily commute, maybe on a bus or on a train, going through the motions of getting to work, to school, wherever you're traveling in rural or a city environment, you're likely to encounter similar conditions. And also very often you may be a passenger in the car, maybe you're biking, maybe you're on a motorcycle, maybe you're on a boat, or maybe you're on an airplane. In all of these places, you're likely to encounter similar conditions to what I'm creating here. That's why this test is done. Reason number two is the variety of noise pollution intensity, because as you can see, right now I'm in a car idling on the side of the road, and this is relatively easy for these earbuds to resolve because there isn't much noise happening around me right now. So a lot of these earbuds have no problems transferring our voice, capturing it and transferring it to the other side of the phone call when we are in a relatively quiet environment. But what happens when we crack both windows halfway, throw the car in the first gear, turn on the climate control so there's some air coming into the cabin through the vents, and start driving, therefore introducing the road noise, introducing the engine noise, and introducing, most of all, a lot of wind coming in through the windows of this car. We are this way changing this sonic environment dramatically, and the test is done going 50 miles per hour, which is the speed right now. This way, the environment and the sonic conditions that these earbuds have to resolve have all changed very dramatically from the moment ago when it was relatively quiet around me. But doing this test in the same exact way with many different earbuds over now the years of this channel gives you guys an opportunity to compare the results and listen for yourselves and judge how well these earbuds deal with this complex environment, because they have to first, the microphones in them have to capture my voice that is being recorded together with the wind, with the engine noise, and with all the other noises around me. And then they have to sort it out and reject what we don't want to hear while keeping only my voice in the recording and transferring it real time to the person on the other side of the call so they can hear you clearly. But now let's pull over and go with the second contestant for this test today. Here we go, guys. Right now in my ears for direct comparison. So far, the absolute benchmark for these tests, no other than Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro. Let's start driving to recreate the same exact conditions, get to 50 miles per hour, and see which one is better. The question is, can Technics do it? Can they get to number one and beat the king of microphones quality and the algorithm that is sitting inside these earbuds and is responsible for processing our voice, delivering pristine, clean audio during phone calls to the person on the other side of the call? Let's pull over this is enough of a voice sample, and go with the third one for today to see what you guys think about the quality of these microphones. And the last sample for today is going to come from the previous best earbuds from Technics, which is the AZ80. We are comparing the AZ100 in all other aspects to those earbuds, and therefore also I am going to do this test so you guys can hear the difference and hear clearly by going back and forth over these 3 video and audio samples to see how much progress has been made, how much Technics have improved their product, and how much better the AZ100s are. I'm not gonna lie, I already listened to a little bit of this recording between the drives because I couldn't wait, and I know that the AZ100 are a giant improvement over these earbuds. So I'm going to pull over because this is enough of a voice sample, and give you guys one more sample to listen to just so you have more point of reference. More point of reference, that is quite a silly thing to say. I of course meant a better point of reference. So listening to these earbuds now, listen to what my voice sounds like when recorded by a really higher quality microphone placed directly in front of my mouth, like this H1 from Zoom. And also right now switching simply to iPhone, recording in the same exact conditions, driving 50 miles an hour with both windows still cracked, so you guys can hear the difference and judge for yourself and maybe appreciate how difficult of a job must it have been for the Technics to come up with this crazy good sound processing in these new earbuds. We are back in the studio. You guys have heard this for yourselves. I'm dying to see your comments. Tell me if you think we have a new winner, or do you still regard Liberty 4 Pro as the best earbuds when it comes to placing phone calls and the microphone quality. The Liberty 4 Pro is definitely louder. It was actually, the native recording was so loud that it was clipping, so I did bring it down. If you look at what it says on the screen, when I have them in my ears, you'll see that the volume was brought down by 3 decibels more or less, just to equalize the level of audio with the Technics earbuds. And but in terms of the clarity, it's so hard to decide for me. I think Technics might be there. They're at least as good, in my opinion. With the loudness difference taken into consideration, they are at least still just as good. But I'm really looking forward to hearing your opinions. Another aspect we need to discuss is the app support, and it is also fantastic, just like everything else about these earbuds, starting with the connectivity. So far, I haven't had a single moment where the app wouldn't connect to the earbuds. With different manufacturers, different earbuds, it's a touch-and-go situation. Sometimes the apps connect, sometimes they drive you crazy because no matter how many times you try, it's either connected or not, and there's nothing you can do. This has been flawless so far. Lots of features here, starting with the equalizer that I already talked about. There's a lot of presets that you can go with, and of course 3 different customizable settings of the entire equalizer that you can save. There's a test for the noise cancellation that you can do so that the adaptive noise control can work even better for your environment. There is a setting that lets you adjust the amount of the ambient sound from 1 all the way to 100. There is also this feature here called Voice Focus AI Test. The sample you heard from me driving in the car did not have that enabled yet. I haven't even performed this test, but what it means basically, it's going to use AI to isolate your voice from the surrounding noise even better, so that when you're making phone calls, the other party on the other side of the phone connection can hear you even clearer. As far as the other settings go, there's entire user guide here. There are different languages for the voice prompts, including, guess what? That's right. You can change the name of your headphones, so when you see them in the Bluetooth settings, it's going to be customized. You can customize the home screen and what goes on it. This app is just so well designed. It's so flexible. It offers you so many different things that you can do One of my favorite is enabling multi-point operation. It does cost you LDAC, but you can enable up to 3 devices. The default is 2, so you can be connected to 3 at the same time. You're just not using LDAC when you do that, but to some of you, this may be the crucial feature that you really want, and you don't care about LDAC that much. There's just lots and lots of customization, basically everything you can think of, and then some. So even in this area, Technics absolutely excelled this time. Last but not least is the case and the battery life. So the case is a tiny little bit slimmer than the case for AZ80. It's about 1/8 of an inch. It's lengthwise exactly the same. When it comes to removing the earbuds from the case, it's not as dead easy as it was with the AZ80. It's not much different. If you kind of just lift them up like this, the way I'm doing right now, they come out pretty easily. But the different profile that they have, the different shape, makes it a little bit more difficult if you're just trying to grab them like that. So I don't think that really plays any role. But just to let you know, if you have really Hulk fingers, you may pay attention to that aspect. Playback time is 10 hours on a single charge, 28 hours with the case. Honestly, if you are able to listen more than 28 hours of music in your week, you are a very happy person. Congratulations on your live setup. I am jealous. 15-minute quick charge gives you 90 minutes of playback. Couldn't be better. I mean, it could, but it's a great... those are great numbers. Charging time to full 100% of the case capacity is approximately 2.5 hours, 3 hours earbuds plus case. This is also not too bad. If you're wondering about the IPX rating, it is 4, which means the earbuds are supposed to withstand light rain and splashes, but do not dive underwater with them. Do not submerge them completely. They will not survive that. And with this information, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, and I hope it gave you enough information if you're considering adding AZ100 or maybe even replacing everything you've had so far with these, because our search for the ultimate earbuds has just come to the point where these are going to be very difficult to beat moving forward into the rest of 2025 and beyond.